I know you guys are tired of having the conversation that I like to talk about and when are the Eagles going to get respect. But but what else is left for the Eagles to actually prove? What is left for Jalen Hurts to actually prove? We're going to talk about that because I know you all saw the ESPN Power Rankings. Disappointing to say the least, the way they put that out there. We're going to talk Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 49ers, Sixers, anything you want to talk about. Bring your thoughts, your opinions. Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live with your opinions in 30 seconds.
Fourth and goal.
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live, Facebook, YouTube. And as I say every day, you know that drill. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow button. It is free to do it. It does not cost you a penny to support this show and this venture. So like, share, subscribe. I cannot preach that enough. I greatly appreciate it. Of course, as always, drop your comments, thoughts on today's topics, any sports topics that you want to get into. And as I'm saying that, I'm thinking of others to write down for today's agenda that I forgot about. So make sure you do that, and we greatly appreciate it. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. Finding me anywhere on social media at Beard of Knowledge. If I'm there, that's my handle. I greatly appreciate it. Will Smith lurking in the background. Good morning. How you doing? Zach, how are you this morning? Not a hard reset, a hard start. Is that what you want to call it? Good morning, Adam from YouTube, and good morning, Adam from Facebook. How you guys doing? Um, there's lots on the agenda today. I didn't know. It's so funny. I always say to myself, how am I going to come up with 5 show titles, 5 days worth of semi-variety topics, 5 days of, mix it up. Like, it's tough doing this, you know what I mean? And trying to keep it fresh, but also on point at the same time. But yet somebody always does something. Somebody always says something. Something always happens in Philadelphia sports that just writes the show for me. And that's what yesterday happened. Good morning, Peanut. How you doing? Thirsty Thursday. I had a thirsty Wednesday last night. And we'll have a thirsty Thursday too as well. Good morning, Kaba. We're just saying Kaba because my screen is too far away and I can't actually read all those letters. Great job last night. Oh, yeah. I was on Edge of Philly Sports last night with Big Al and Sean Brace. Just think of the lineup, Adam. They had Angelo Cataldi. They had Sean Brace, and they had Phil Stiefel. That's the kind of company I keep. That's the kind of shows I do. That's the visits I do. Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure I outdrew ratings wise Angelo Cataldi and Sean Brace too. But anyway, to the point here today. You know, it's like people just know I need content. So they just do stuff purposely to trigger me, purposely to get me riled up, purposely to give me content to talk about. And that's what ESPN did when they put out their rankings last night, yesterday afternoon. And of course, I'm going to share them on the screen here because it's hilarious to even look at it. Yeah, some of the Core 12 jumped in last night on the show. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support always do. But just look at this list that ESPN had the nerve to put out yesterday. These are their power rankings according to their analytics department through 12 weeks of games entering week 13. And just look where the Philadelphia Eagles are. They are number 7 on this list. And look at the 6 teams above them. The 49ers, who have 3 losses, and we play this week. The Cowboys, who we have beaten at number 2. The Bills, who we just beat and have 6 losses at number 3. The Ravens at 4. The Chiefs, who we've beaten at number 5, the defending champions. The Dolphins, who we've beaten at 6. You got the Chargers right below the Eagles. This is not just disrespectful to Eagles fans. This is disrespectful to Jaguars fans, Lions fans, Chiefs fans, Ravens fans. This is disrespectful on so many levels. And And as K1 says, they'd be trolling. Like, this is not their voted on by writers power rankings. This is their analytics. But people don't realize you can make your analytics, your computer spit out whatever answer you want. Like this, I mean, there is no world where this is not a total clickbait troll job by ESPN doing this, not just for Philadelphia, but for quite a few teams and quite a few cities. There's no way anybody can think that the Eagles are only this. So that what is left? What do the Eagles have to do to earn that respect? Wait, I'm a 49ers fan. Is there no way it should be? Exactly. Even my brother, the biggest 49ers fan that I know, agrees. Like, all right, you want to make an argument that the Eagles and the Chiefs, because they're the two best teams, whatever. You want to debate Chiefs, Ravens, 49ers, Cowboys at 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Hey, even more egregious than the Eagles being at 7 is Buffalo being at 3. A 6-6 team that we just beat, and you're going to put them at 3 on this list? Like, what else is there left to do for the Philadelphia Eagles, for Jalen Hurts, to garner some level of respect? It really is kind of, if it's not trolling, then it's something. Somebody needs their head checked. The power rankings are wild. Like, really? 4-7 Chargers. Are they 4-7? I thought they had a slightly better record. That's even worse. I thought they were like 5-6 or something like that. The Chargers. They're 4-7. Like, they are. Holy crap! I just zoomed in on the number. Like, what is going through the people at ESPN's heads to put a list? Like, all right, you're a small upstart company brand, and you're trying to get clicks and follows and stuff like that, good or bad. All right, let's make some bold, crazy crap up. But this is ESPN. They should be above. You don't like the Eagles, it's fine. But you don't got to put them at 7, right in front of the 4-7 Chargers. We beat 4 of the teams ahead of us. Yeah, and we're playing the other one this. Like, it's insanity. Truly, truly insanity. Too cold. It is so freaking cold, my man. So freaking cold. Analytics be like, X team ran for 1 more yard than the other team in week 4, so they are top. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I don't know computer algorithms. I'm not a mathematician, Zach. I'm not good at that stuff. But I'm pretty sure the analytics department of ESPN could say, or whoever's in charge of ESPN could say to the analytics department, we want the Eagles to not be in the top 5. We want the Cowboys in the top 5. Spit out a program that's going to give us a ranking system that does that. Like, it's not hard. You can just say it's analytics and just make it up. You don't even need to use it. It's ridiculous. 49ers. Look, I know you say mad chatter all the time that the 49ers are frauds. We're going to find out this week if they are or not. And they're not a bad team. They're better than 50, 60% of this top 10 list. But you can't put them ahead of the Eagles. The Eagles are 10-1 after being, what were they last year? In the Super Bowl. They're repeating what they did last year against a 10 times harder schedule. And yet the best you're going to do is put them at 7th at this point. It's pathetic. It's obnoxious. It's a bad look for, like, honestly, it's a bad look for ESPN. Really, really, really bad. Analytics are just creating motivational and locker room checks on shoulders, man. I mean, it's got to be creating locker room material for a lot of teams. I mean, seriously, the Chargers in the top 10, anybody that's outside of the top 10, I can name a half a dozen teams that belong in that spot over the Chargers, at least. At what point, I mean, just putting the Chargers there at number 10 or at 7, inside the top 10 or 8 they're at, sorry. At what point are people just going to realize that Justin Herbert is just so average? He does not have one winning quality about him. Great quarterbacks elevate their team. But with the Chargers, no. It's not his fault. It's everybody else's fault. He's going to be great somewhere. I've seen enough. Cowboys haven't beat any good teams. They should be below the Eagles. Obviously, and we've beaten the Cowboys. The Cowboys lost to the Cardinals. let's call a spade here. This is a train wreck. Yeah, but it was all luck. Even a broken Phil clock. I get what you're saying there. Eagles are lucky. They're just so lucky. They're lucky 10 out of 11 times. I just, Bills went 5-0 with Trent Edwards. The Bills just looked better. Even though they lost, they just looked better. I get what you're saying. I lay the I get the sarcasm. Ain't nobody beating Eagles. Josh Allen is electrifying, but team is not winners. Look, the Eagles might lose. The Eagles are going to lose a game at some point. I'd rather it be sooner rather than in the playoffs. Oh, they can 100% get any rankings they want, use whatever stats you want, and base it on that. Exactly. There's yards, runs. There's so much that they can do to make it spit out the rankings that they want. And I don't doubt for 1 second that ESPN or any company does this when they're talking analytics. And you know what? If you just want to call it your non-analytic power rankings and you just want to say it's your opinion, at least I can say, all right, well, your opinion's wrong. Let's discuss it. But when you're saying it's your analytics that's spitting this out, then we know it's just straight bogus. Then you're just trying to hide your opinion behind a computer program that you programmed to spit this out. Like, I don't understand why they think this is okay. Even the Broncos are better than absolutely. Oh, the Broncos are a sneaky team. They started out terrible, atrocious. They're finally starting to get into a rhythm. What do they got? 6 wins in a row now? I'm shocked. I had Russell Wilson dead to rights earlier this season. I thought he was washed. And you know what? The Broncos are playing good football. The Broncos could sneak into the playoffs. And with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton there, I'm not a Sean Payton fan, but he's won before. They have the potential to win a playoff game. They do, the way they're playing right now. My only worry is both whiners and cowgirls have 3 extra days of rest. Look. We might lose one of those 2 games. We might lose both of those games, Kaba. There's a definite chance that we do not win both games or even one of them. We could lose the next 2. I don't know. It still doesn't mean that they're better than us, though. We're still the better team. At least right now we are. All right, you want to talk about the 49ers being better than us? Well, let them beat us first. Otherwise, you got to go off what the games have been played so far. And the Eagles have won more. And this goes into the lack of respect for Jalen Hurts as well. Because he doesn't do things like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen in the middle of a game, he doesn't get the respect. But he does it when it matters most. The fact that it's getting at Philadelphia feels getting the attention, I would keep going with the troll. Look, we talked about this yesterday. Like, at what point is it just straight disrespect and not a bulletin board material conversation? At some point, it's got to get exhausting. Having here's the latest thing that they said bad about us when I'm saying from the player's mindset. Doesn't it eventually, get nauseating that you constantly are being doubted at every turn? It's got to be frustrating. The Eagles are simps and that are married to a gold-digging who will never respect and love them. No one likes us. We still don't care. See, I like to rephrase that. No one likes us, and I do care. Because I love being liked. I want respect. I want respect at my pizza shop. I want respect on this show. That's all. I want respect. When people doubt me, yeah, I use it as motivation sometimes. But sometimes it's nice also. It's very gratifying sometimes to get a pat on the back and say, you did a great job, or, well done, or you have a great show. Same thing with the Eagles. It wouldn't hurt to say, hey, good job today, guys. From somebody outside that locker room, you guys are a damn good team. You know what? That would be just, if somebody would just come out and say, damn good team right there to the Eagles, that would mean a lot. It means somebody actually sees it. I mean, the Birds have beaten the Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs. I'm blown away by the idiots that thought it was a good idea to post this. Well, these idiots are not some small upstart, bro. This is ESPN. This is the ESPN analytics department. This is front page material for ESPN. Like, it makes literally zero sense. Eagles are going to lose one more. Who was worst team left? I don't know. The worst team we got left is probably we got 2 against the Giants, and we got the Cardinals the last 3 games. And then we've got these next 3 games against the Niners, Cowboys, and Seattle. I think there's a solid chance they lose against the 49ers. I do. And we're going to get into that later in the show, and we'll get into it a lot tomorrow. But there's a solid chance. There's a lot of things pointing against the Eagles. Not saying they are going to lose, but I'm saying there is an argument to be made that there is a chance that they lose. They love the Cowboys. It don't matter if they haven't won anything in years. Dude, the Cowboys could be 5-10, and they still would be front page material for everybody because the Cowboys still sell. It's what it is. What's up, Al? Probably no program either. They hide behind the name. I would not doubt this, Al, that they use the terms analytics, but they don't actually punch anything to a computer. They just get some guy. I mean, we see all the slimy stuff that happens in the media on a regular basis. Some in Philadelphia lately with some women. But man, a place like ESPN should have more. You would think have more respect for themselves than to hide, but they don't. Obviously, A AI is just stuff cooler. Analytics is just stuff coders input. Sorry to DDT your bubble. Yeah, and well, they're the ones people code it too, I guess, right? So I don't know. Hot take: losing to the Niners would be worse than if we lose to the Cowboys. Cowboys are like an annoying family member. We can get over it, but the Niners, we'd never hear the end of it from them. Zach, yeah, I mean, I guess. Um, Look, I do want to shut the Niners up. I do. There's no doubt about it. But also, you never want to lose to the Cowboys, and you're still trying to win the division and stuff like that. You don't want the Cowboys, like you want the 1 seed, but you also got to get that division as well. Um, and even if we lose to the Niners, we'll still have some space on them. I don't know. I don't know if it's a hot take, a good hot take, or a bad hot take here, Zach. I'm not sure how I feel about this. But yeah, I mean, shut them up, make them realize they're not as good as they think they are. Garbage in, garbage out, just like my yeah. Yeah, basically. I introduced myself to Phil. Nice to meet you, Phil. 49ers frauds. I know that's basically how you introduced yourself to me. It's definitely getting at K1's feels. I will eat Fox's pizza someday, right? Someday. Uh, I'm smart, not dumb like everybody says. I'm smart. I want respect. I was passed over. You take care of me. You're my kid brother. I'm supposed to take care of you. Yeah, I know what you're getting at. I can recite that scene. That is a list of teams Eagles have wrecked. Basically, yes, absolutely. Hurts and Sirianni won't let the Eagles lose 2 games in a row. Adam, you've watched enough of these shows. I've been saying that for ages. So, which one are they more likely to lose? But also, which one, to Zach's point, which one's more important for them to win if they're only going to win one? I'm still not sure about that. If we handle the whiners, do you think the league will finally put some respect on our name? No, I don't. I don't think they will. They'll say the Cowboys, this or that, or they'll find an excuse. It's all about excuses when it comes to the Eagles. An excuse why you lost to the Eagles, an excuse why the Eagles beat you, an excuse why Jalen Hurts was able to lead a game-winning drive. I mean, it's excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. You're going to lose one Giants. That will be their Super Bowl. We might not even have our second stringers in by the last game because hopefully we have it locked up. Even brother William with the good hair knows. Yeah, that's right. I mean, based on this, if the Niners beat the Eagles, ESPN will drop the birds out. I mean, honestly, this is a hilarious point here. If the Eagles lose on Sunday, and there's a chance, they're gonna have the Eagles like at 12th or 14th. They're gonna bump literally the Washington Commanders or the LA Rams who are like right around hovering 500. They'll put all those teams ahead of the Eagles. The Eagles will be ranked like 15th if they lose to the Niners. They'll be 10-2, but they're going to be the 15th ranked team. Like I would not be shocked at all on that. Hell, if the Eagles lose to the 49ers, the Eagles will still be number 1 in my power ranking. I guarantee it right now. The Eagles win on Sunday or lose on Sunday, I will still have them number 1 in my power ranking because one game is not. You're looking at a 12-game sample size, not a 1-game sample size. Guys, I'm just going to warn you. I feel a sneeze of all sneezes coming on here. You beat the Bills, Cowboys, Chiefs. Exactly. I want to beat the Cowboys, and I'd still hurt, but I want to shut the Niners up so bad. I get it, and I hear you on that. I'm just trying. I'm still processing your point, and I'm not sure which way I lean on that point just yet. If the Eagles lose this weekend, ESPN might have us out. That's exactly what my brother said there. I mean, it's hilarious, Kyle. Like they really might. Hell no. Lose to Niners, but come back next week and run down Cowgirls. Absolutely. Like, honestly, I agree. I would probably take the Cowboys. I think in grand scheme of things with respect, it's probably better to beat the Niners, but I don't know. I got smarts. What the F? How is that an accurate power list? Because according to ESPN, their computer said it. That's how it's accurate. 10-1 and we're seventh. Not just 10-1 and we're seventh. 10-1 and we're seventh, and we've beaten four of the teams ahead of us. And you put a team that's 4-7 directly behind us. If it was you, Fredo, you broke my heart. When he kisses Fredo on the cheek, I know it was you. Ah man, gets me every time, man. Gets me. Gets me. That scene though, and when Fredo's telling like me, I take care of my brother. He's in the comments. Like I have to take care of him. He got passed over. Just like he resents me because I'm just a better brother. I do not think the Niners will stop whining, win or lose. Yeah, exactly. They'll have an excuse, Al. They always have an excuse. Everyone's got an excuse. It is. You know what's funny though? We don't make excuses for our failures. We look at ourselves. What did our team? Hell, even in success, Brian Johnson's got to be better. Jack Driscoll's got to be better. We got to get healthier. This, that, the third. We're not blaming other people. We don't blame anyone else for Jason Kelsey's 2 false starts. It's on Jason Kelsey. We look from within. Everybody else finds ancillary excuses on why they lose. We literally beat 4 teams on this list in the last 5 weeks. Yeah, not over a 12-week stretch. Like in the last 5 weeks, we've beaten 4 of these teams. It's not good enough because we didn't win pretty. We didn't win 40-20. We didn't win 70-20. 10-1, not as good as 7 win to ES. Yeah, exactly. I don't get it. 11-1 coming up. I hope so, Davon. I hope so. Yes, I do have. Yeah, you might have more hair. We won't say better hair, more hair. Free Phil's hoodie. I forgot to put my hoodie on this morning. I'm sorry. We're gonna take this off the screen so you guys can see my pretty face again. I don't want my brother to think he's the best looking Stiefel boy there is out there. So I'll put my face back up here. But we're gonna continue talking about this power ranking. Beating the Niners basically seals the 1 seed. Dallas has a rougher schedule remaining. Absolutely. I can't wait to see how the Cowboys handle their juggernaut of a schedule. Because our juggernaut of a schedule, we're marching right through it right now. You know, they got the same thing. I need to get coffee, but too cold. Yeah, man, it's going to warm up a touch today. By the weekend, it'll be a little bit more. We already beat the Cowgirls, so losing to them won't matter if we beat San Francisco. It's true. It's true. Man, I'd rather us kick both of their asses. Exactly. I don't want to just win one. I want to win both. But I get it. I do. Like if the question of who would you if you could only beat one of the next 2 teams, who would you rather beat and why? I mean, I get to ask the question, but I just don't know how I personally want to answer it. I don't. I will say though, and it came up last night. I was on Edge of Philly with Big Al, who's in the comments last night, and and he asked me something about is this a statement game or a must win for the Eagles or whatnot. Um, And I said, "No." Or a measuring stick maybe he used. And I said, "No. This is the measuring stick, the must-win game for the 49ers. In the grand scheme of things, this is meaningless, win or lose, to the Eagles. We know we're good. We know the Eagles are a good team. The Niners doubt themselves. We don't doubt ourselves. So, I want to beat both, but this is like San Francisco's Super Bowl this week. Excuse me. This is there. Are we good or not? The national narrative might be that the Niners are better, but I bet you if you go and ask the 49ers locker room, is that ranking list accurate? They're going to tell you probably no. They might think they're the best, but they're going to tell you no, the Eagles aren't 7th best. Hell, I bet you the Cowboys players will say no, this is bogus. We got to beat the top. To be the best, you've got to beat the best. We are the best. We already beat the best in Kansas City. We are the best right now in this moment. So the 49ers would even say this is their measuring stick, the 49ers. They have to win to validate what they're doing this year. That's right. Beer Bros Unite. Hit that like button. Please. We got 14 likes on YouTube, 2 on Facebook only. So hit that like button wherever you're watching. Hit the share button. There's about 30 people watching across all platforms. Drop your comments on this. What is left for them to prove? All right, because I don't even beating the Niners this week, they're going to find something wrong with the Eagles. Because let's be honest, win or lose, Sunday is going to be rainy again. It's going to be coldish again. It's going to be windy. It's not going to be ideal playing conditions for the Eagles and the 49ers. So it's going to be a hard-fought, low-scoring, knockdown, drag-out battle on Sunday. So whoever wins is not going to look cool in winning. There's going to be some bruises. There's going to be some nicks. There's some bangs. There's some bad blood between these teams. It's going to be a low-scoring, hard-fought game on Sunday. So no team is going to come out of this offense of all time. That's just not the way it's going to go. So the analytics department will say something that the Eagles didn't win by 4. They won by 3. Or, they only had 200 this or that yards. And look, it's Weiner's schedule easier than – dude, I've looked at the 49ers schedule. I had it up before. I don't have it up right now. I got the player stats up right now. They have not had a hard schedule this year at all. They have the whole season, not just the rest of the year. Overall, their schedule is super easy, the 49ers this year, compared to what we're going up against. Liam's Royal 12 Mates. Yeah, is that what it is? What's this? It's on Kelsey having to poop, actually. Yeah, it is. So we're not blaming anybody else. We're not blaming the refs for Kelsey's 2 false starts. We're not blaming the Bills for anything. It was on Kelsey. He ate too much, of whatever for breakfast that morning. Mrs. Kelsey made too big a breakfast. They predicted our next 5 games 0-5. It's real quiet now. Dude, I've said it once. I'll say it again. I'll say it 100 more times this year and 1,000 more times next year. Jalen Hurts is not going to let them lose 5 games. He's not going to let them lose 3 games in a row. He might not let them lose 2 games in a row. Ever. Did you guys see, and this is a good segue, because I want to bring Jalen Hurts into the equation too as well. Ian Rappaport, he was on something yesterday, and he was talking about Jalen Hurts' demeanor. And he called Jalen Hurts joyless and miserable. But then followed up and said, I love it. Okay? And this was not a knock from Ian Rappaport on Jalen Hurts. Like when you see the headline, Rappaport calls Hurts miserable and joyless, you think it's like a bashing Jalen Hurts like segment incoming, and that's not what it was. It was a Jalen Hurts. It was a conversation about Jalen Hurts and his leadership mentality, and he's never out of it. Like when Jake Elliott's lining up to kick that 59-yard field goal, all Jalen Hurts is thinking about is all the mistakes he made. That if this guy doesn't make this field goal, this loss is on me, not him. You score the game-winning touchdown, and he doesn't celebrate much. He looked disappointed on the podium. Why? Because he made lots of mistakes and he wants to be better. The Ian Rappaport comments were not, people are taking it out of context and people are, crushing Jalen Hurts or crushing Ian Rappaport for it. But if you really listen to what he said and not just read the clip, he was pumped for what Jalen Hurts is, because he's got that mentality that his best is never enough. And you got to love that mentality out of Jalen Hurts. When Eagles win Super Bowl, the computer will drop you out. Yeah, we can win the Super Bowl, and we would not be the favorite to win the Super Bowl next year again. We would not be number 1 in any power rankings again. Wonders because they are a pain in the ass. It's like listening to Fran Dresser. She looks great. I don't even think she looked that great. And she opens her mouth. Well, never mind. I could have gone somewhere with that, but never mind. 90 Fran or now. Yeah. I get what you're saying. To be the man, woo! You gotta beat the man. That's right. And guess what? right now, I kind of think the Eagles are the man. So that's why us losing to the 49ers doesn't do much. We'll still be the underdogs. We'll still be considered the underdog. We'll still get no respect. But if the 49ers win, they're going to be celebrating, popping champagne, dropping balloons and confetti. It'll be a big deal to 49ers fans. Look, and no offense to my brother. My brother's a 49ers fan. Fugazi, but whatever. Um, I've already gotten text message. He was texting me yesterday about the Eagles 49ers game and how pumped he is for it because he wants to rub it in our faces when the 49ers win. This means 10 times more to 49ers fans than it does to Eagles fans. I disagree. I think it will be a high-scoring game. K1, that's interesting because you got great defenses. You got bad weather, although there was, 71 points put up on Sunday in bad weather against Buffalo. I get that, but that's rare. I don't know. I think this is going to be a knockdown, drag-out battle between two teams that just absolutely hate each other. Even if we were undefeated, they would still put us under. Absolutely. And we've lost one game. So we can win it out, and they still will predict the first round out for us. I've already seen an article. I'm sure. Well, is it a real article or is it an AI generated article? Interesting topic right there. More on the media. Is it Sports Illustrated or ESPN that's using AI to write articles for them and having AI come up with fake, creating people out of thin air to say who wrote the article? Is that ethical or not? I don't know. I think it's an interesting topic, though. Purdy finally get knocked down. I don't know. We'll see. I think Brock Purdy's an interesting conversation point. Cowboys offer big money. Shaq deciding between money or a ring. Well, they have more money available, the Cowboys, to offer. I don't, this whole Shaq Leonard thing, it's kind of confusing to me. The guy's just cut. He's a solid linebacker still in the NFL. You got two playoff teams that want you, but you're going to sit at home this weekend, take the weekend off, and think about it. Don't you think he'd want to sign and just get it? Like, it's not like he's going to play. If any team signed him today, it's too late in the week to even be prepared to play on Sunday. So what's the holdup for him? Like, Shaq Leonard's supposed to be a guy that could give us an answer at linebacker the rest of this year, but do you want somebody that just doesn't know what he wants to do? Because that's what it sounds. It sounds like he doesn't know what he wants to do, and that's not what I want. Oh, Jalen Hurts, 1,000%. He's the closest I've seen since Kobe. Like, we always use the term Mamba mentality for athletes. They've got it or they don't. But Jalen Hurts is the closest to actually living and breathing that Mamba mentality. He might be the second coming of Kobe Bryant, honestly, at this point. Like, if I'm Kobe, the Kobe brand reps, I'm hiring Jalen Hurts to be my spokesperson now, because it's the same exact mentality, same exact work ethic and style in life. I don't know. 90 what? Good morning, everyone. What is up, Reality Check? How you doing this morning, my man? Both teams can run the ball, and we have defensive issues. We need to get a fast start offensively for a change. We do. We absolutely do. Got to get a quicker start. We got to find a way to stop Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. They would be my two biggest concerns. We need to get pressure on Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's not going to be able to do Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes type things. So there's a lot that we've got to do right. But they like to run the ball. We do actually like to run the ball too. There's going to be a lot of hard hitting, smash mouth things. There'll be some penalties in this game, probably some late hits in this game, and whatnot. I just don't know if I could see it being a high scoring game. At least yet. Tomorrow's prediction day. You just never know with the NFL. Sunday might be the day Philly puts the pieces together. Sunday night also show why the Winers lost 3 straight too. But hey, let's get it. Yeah, let's you know what? Let's just win. Let's not worry about whether it's important to win or not. Let's just win. Good morning, RC. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, my man? Great to see you, my man, in the comments here. You all over. Yeah, dude, it never stops, man. It never stops. It's every day. I got another guest appearance. I don't even know who it is, but I got another guest appearance tonight. A smaller channel. I'm always working, always talking sports, and I'm always open to talk sports with anybody. I was on a Reality Check show last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm always open for everybody. I've been on Peanut Show. I'm always here. This is all I do. I got to invest in a better chair. If I'm going to sit in this office for so long, I got to get a better office chair here. 'Cause this thing, man, it kills my legs, it kills my back. Um, I definitely got to improve my seating arrangement in here. The 49ers are good for sure, but our offense is their D's kryptonite. Not worried at all. When you make Warner and other linebackers flat-footed, you already won. Their D is nothing without their linebackers. That's interesting. Um, Look, I think their defense versus our offense, the first key to it, we won't know. We'll know today. When today, like yesterday's injury report, there are a lot of limited participants, and it's Wednesday's just a walkthrough at this point for the Eagles. They practice for real today. The Lane Johnson situation is the first thing for the in the matchup department. I said it on Edge of Philly Sports last night. It's their pass rushers versus either Lane Johnson or Jack Driscoll. Jack Driscoll, I still don't have a lot of confidence in. Lane Johnson, if he plays, I have more confidence. But how healthy is Lane Johnson? So to me, the first order of business is to figure out whether Lane's playing or not, and the second order is how healthy he is or not. And they got great pass rushers; they can get after a quarterback. We know that. They just added, to an already great pass rush. So that's number one on my thing first. Then the linebackers and stuff like that. Do you think Brian Johnson's play calling is weird? Nothing wrong with passing, but the situations and timing of his play calling to keep passing the ball is strange. He's I can't read it. Calling runs enough for the timing. So Ryan, I'm in a different boat than most on Brian Johnson. The first few weeks of the year, trying to figure it out and whatnot. Um, he's adjusted. He is what is. I kind of feel like Brian Johnson gets the short end of the stick right now. First, let's think about. Let me turn back a few pages here in my notes. The defenses that have held Brian Johnson in check in first halves, the Bills are now ranked 10th. This is now. When we played all these teams, their defenses were ranked higher. The Bills are 10th. The Chiefs are the fourth ranked defense. Dallas is the third ranked or offense. Sorry, or defense. Yeah. So the Bills are the 10th ranked defense. Chiefs fourth. Dallas third. Dolphins seventh best defense. So it's not like we were going up against Carolina's defense and Brian Johnson's play calling looked bad. We're going up against elite defenses that their whole week has been prepared to stop you. So some of Brian Johnson's issues are what he scripted to start the game is just being stopped against by great defenses. And the 49ers defense is really solid too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a slow start again this week. So that's part one of the Brian Johnson equation. I've talked about this before. And part two of the equation is this offense looks great in the second. Everybody praises Sean Desai massively because he makes these great second half adjustments. Well, doesn't the Eagles offense look great in the second half too? So why aren't we praising Brian Johnson for making these adjustments? Because I think they should. I think Brian Johnson is getting the short end of the stick here in this equation majorly. Hey Juan, what's up? Um, that's why I'm taking the over. I think it's like 47.5 the over. I don't know, man. I'm leaning in I think whoever wins is the first person to get to 21 or 24 points. I could see this being a 17-14, 21-17, 24-17, stuff like that. And that's just where I'm at with it. My 14S Kelly Green Hurts jersey from Timu is fire. Well, it's coming. It'll be here next week. We'll find out. I really believe Brian Johnson is causing the struggles of Jalen Hurts because he's forcing Hurts to throw too much. Or maybe I'm wrong with the throwing too much. I don't know. I think he's not. Some of his plays, like you've got. So the first three plays of the game last week, Ryan, they were three passes. He got sacked on one and two other deep incompletions. You got Lane Johnson out. You've got a great pass rush coming at you. So instead of having quick plays or runs to start the game to settle in, he has three straight plays that are 7, 8-step drops, long developing routes. So his choice isn't right in some of these situations. But also, it's not like these defenses are cakewalk defenses. They're elite defenses. So he's making minor mistakes, sure. But I think it's more scheme and game plan than specific plays not being executed properly. That's just where I think it is. What's up, Eric? How you doing in the spectacular Core 12? Phil, you need a throne that you'd be, a throne for me to sit on. I don't know about that. I don't know if a throne would be comfortable. Definitely need a more comfortable seating. That's my 2024 goal, to improve the office a little bit and have a more comfortable seat. Um, Driscoll was decent after that first drive. Hope Lane can play. He was decent. He wasn't Lane Johnson good. I think people are overrating what he did. Eric, yeah. Phil, you sound scared. Not scared of anything. Well, I'm scared of a few things. Heights are definitely number one on the scared list for me. But I'm not scared. I'm realistic. And realistically speaking, the 49ers are a damn good football team. Are they number one in the power rankings over the Eagles, number 7? No. But I'm realistic to know that this is a damn good football team that we're playing. We're a damn good football team as well. It's going to be a close, hard fought game. And there's a reason why the bookies have the 49ers as favorite. There is. I mean, the book wins 9 times out of. There's a reason why sports books make more money than they give out. So them setting the line where they did was because they wanted Eagles fans to overreact and bet it, and I did. Not $1,000,000 or anything like that, but I overreacted and betted it, of course, because I mean it makes sense to do it. We see this team every day, but the sports books know that we were going to pounce on that. So they've got to. If the sports books have a good feeling that the 49ers are going to win, to me that at the very least tells me it's going to be a close, hard fought game. We do not know for sure if Lane's playing. He is, out of all the injured players, he is trending the most in the right direction to play. Zach Cunningham is 99% out for this game. Dallas Goedert is 50-50. Where's the rest? Fletcher Cox, they haven't said. Milton Williams just has to clear concussion protocol. Jordan Davis seems to be fine. I think he was just winded on that play. So I would say there's a darn good chance. I would put Lane Johnson playing somewhere at the 70-80% mark at this point. But we'll know today, because today's the real practice of the week. This is when they pad up. This is when they actually run plays. They institute their game plan in practice and stuff like that. We'll know a lot more about Lane Johnson today, and we'll have that on the show tomorrow. What office chair look like? It's just a very thin swivel desk chair that I got used, that was at my landlord's barn. Yeah, it's old. It's really old. There's no. I got an extra pillow on it, and that barely does the job. Brian Johnson just needs to try to script the plays in a way in which Hurts could get into a rhythm. I would like to get more creative with the run, slants, and misdirection plays. I've seen more misdirection pre-snap than ever before this year from the Eagles. But I get what you're saying there for sure, Eric. Absolutely. When Johnson goes to the run on 3 to 4 plays consecutively, and Swift with one of them will get a long run, but then afterwards he goes right back to the pass game nonstop. Just keep switching it all up. Look, it's a passing league. We're going to pass a lot, but honestly, we do run a lot more or a higher percentage than people realize. I just I think Brian Johnson and Nick Sirianni. I think Nick Sirianni is as much as Brian Johnson to blame for the first half struggles. Yeah, see, I said blame Nick Sirianni. It's okay to do that. It's okay to criticize people. This is why we're not blaming other people for struggles. We're blaming ourselves. Everybody else makes excuses when they lose to the Eagles. But they get together, Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson, they pre-script the start of the game. They're like, this is what we see, this is what we got to do. And I think they didn't go away from their script quick enough last week with Lane Johnson being out last second. And I think that maybe the first 3 plays turn out differently. And the whole game turns out differently if Lane Johnson's not there, or if he's out there. Or if they're like, well, that script isn't going to work because Lane Johnson's not playing. But we don't give Brian Johnson any credit for mid-game adjustments. And they have made mid-game adjustments. The offense, second half of the game against Buffalo, 10 times better than the first half. You know what that was? That was adjustments. Sean Desai gets praised as this great mid-game adjuster. He's a great defensive coordinator. There's a reason why Brian Johnson's on the short list of Brian Johnson. There's a 80-90% chance he'll be a head coach next year. Why? Because people see what he's capable of doing. We're ultra critical because we see it up close every single week, and we're passionate about it and whatnot. Phil, aka the logo. I'm the logo? I don't even know what that means. Do I have a bet with my brother? No. I just said no, I won't go to his house to watch the game. I don't want to hear him talk all game long. I don't want to hear him looking at me and laughing if the 49ers do one good thing. I don't want to have to swim home in his tears after the Eagles beat the 49ers. So no. Um, Brother Stiefel. It was Brother Stiefel in the comments earlier. The one with the better hair. Yeah, he's got beautiful hair. I don't even know where that comes from. Y'all must not know Jalen like I know Jalen Hurts. Brandon Graham after the Buffalo hit. Yeah. Put some bass in your voice, Beard. Yeah. Y'all don't know Jalen like I know Jalen. Um, you really just sound scared. I'm not scared. I'm just realistic. I just think that you should know by now, Marshawn. You've been following my content for a while. I'm a realist. I call it the way I see it. Um, I don't. I try to be as little homerish in my decision making and my thought process as I possibly can, and that's all it is. It's not that I don't trust the Eagles to win. I just know it's going to be a close game, and it's not going to be a blowout. This is going to be another hard fought game, just like Kansas City, just like Buffalo. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback with a massive contract. They're going to make him pass more. If you want to run more, then pay your running back. Well, that's exactly what the 49ers do, at least right now. At some point, they got to decide whether Brock Purdy's the man or not, and they're going to pay him or not. But you look at the 49ers, they paid Christian McCaffrey, they paid Devo, Kittle, they pay everybody on that defense, big money. But Brock Purdy's making nothing. So, it's interesting. Which way do you go? Do you build around your quarterback or you build your team and you just insert a quarterback and hope the quarterback is capable? I really don't know if Brock Purdy is the real deal or not. I've seen some good football from him, but I've also seen some very game management style football from him. So I just don't know. I don't know how a 49ers fan, and one 49ers fan was in the comment yesterday, and we're going to try to bring him on tomorrow for like 5-10 minutes. And we'll ask him, how do you decide whether Brock Purdy is really the real deal or not? It's tough. He doesn't, he doesn't shock anything. But also because and choose to be smart with the timing and situation when he calls a run or a pass play. I feel like Johnson just goes to the run with the running backs to do it and says he included the run, but really he has no desire to. I don't know. I think that's just an organizational philosophy as a whole, maybe. Brian Johnson's the offensive coordinator, yes. But Nick Sirianni is an offensive-minded head coach. He's the one that's really saying, this is what we got to do this week. Brian Johnson, find out how to do it. I think there's probably a little bit more co-op there than the way I describe it, but it's really Nick Sirianni's final decision. Ignore the because. Yeah, I got you, my man. My phone auto changes the words yeah. Whose phone does it? Autocorrect is the greatest, but it's also the absolute worst. Jalen missed AJ on a wide open slant route in that first series versus Buffalo. He needs to play better in the first half. Yeah, it's not just the play calling in the first half. It's got to be better execution in the first half of games as well. Sometimes they come out a little slow. Sometimes they come out a little sloppy. The execution's not there. Now, I think some of that first drive issues in the Buffalo game, and I'm not making excuses because there were mistakes. I blame Jalen Hurts for the batted ball that turned into an interception. That's on him. Even though people tell me on Twitter, batted balls happen all around the NFL. Well, Jalen Hurts has a lot of batted balls. And he's had quite a few interceptions off of batted balls. So he's got to be better. I think some of the first drive or two struggles, and maybe it was on this AJ missed slant, I'm not sure. He just didn't have confidence in the play being called with Jack Driscoll on his right side. I think there was a little trepidation there, a little disjointedness there. I blame a lot of the early struggles on Sunday to the last second switch from Jack Driscoll to Lane Johnson, or Lane Johnson to Jack Driscoll. It's not an excuse because everybody's got to be prepared. The coaches got to be able to adjust quicker on the fly than they did. But I don't think he didn't play bad. I think he just played scared, maybe is the word I'm looking at, because he was worried. I don't know. Maybe he rushed things. Maybe his one eye was leaking to the right just to see because he didn't have the faith in Lane Johnson not being there. I don't think they changed their script first series when they found out Lane was outside. And that was the mistake on Sunday. That's what put us in a hole on Sunday. They didn't change it. Look, we want to have 3 straight deep dropbacks and deep balls thrown to start this game. Let's come out with a big bang. Oh, no, Lane Johnson's not there. We got to put Jack Driscoll. We're still going to do it. Because, they have this next man up mentality, the Eagles, that they're always They believe in everybody on the 53 and practice squad roster. They have faith that anybody can step in at any moment and do the job, which in theory is the right way to think. But in theory, also dropping from Lane Johnson to Jack Driscoll, and this is not a knock on Jack Driscoll. I know I'm not his biggest fan, but it's not a knock on him. There's a big difference between Lane Johnson and Jack Driscoll. And there's why the Eagles really got to figure out the left tackle or the right tackle of the future in this upcoming offseason draft. They got to find a guy, the groom, to replace Lane Johnson and groom a guy so that when Lane Johnson misses games over the next 3 or 4 years before he retires, can step in. Jack Driscoll's not that guy. Allen, Jones, Burrow, Chargers quarterback, got their super money and regressed. Jalen Hurts is not though. Sasquatch has beautiful hair. Oh, yo, what's up, Mitchie Pooh? Good morning, my man. Would you want to bring Frank Reich back? Well, I touched on this a little bit, Adam. I think bringing Frank Reich back right now would be a distraction. I've always wanted a veteran voice as a consultant, someone with head coaching and offensive play calling as a consultant for Brian Johnson. But right now, in this current situation, 10-1 with this Eagles team, Frank Reich, because of his big name, his connection to the Eagles history, because of everything, Frank Reich's not the guy I would bring back right now. Now, if Brian Johnson gets a head coaching job this offseason, which he very well could, sure, you could bring Frank Reich back as the offensive coordinator with a clean slate. Sure, why not? But I'm not sure Frank Reich is the genius that people think he is. I mean, his time in Indy, a lot of people attribute it to Nick Sirianni being his offensive coordinator. As soon as Nick Sirianni left Frank Reich to be our head coach, Frank Reich's coaching career is kind of, falling off a cliff a little bit. He's now left Indy, now left Carolina. He's had some bad records. Just saying. It's Mitchie Poo. You got to throw the poo on the end. You got to throw the poo on the end. Maybe Beard don't get fired up until Friday. He sounds like he's apologizing for a loss already. I'll wait tomorrow for the most hyped Beard pep rally. Look. No, I'm not. It's hard to keep that emotion high every single day, man. It's hard, man. I haven't had enough coffee yet. I was up late doing a show last night on Edge of Philly as well, so I didn't get my typical 8 hours of beauty rest. Look, I'm not apologizing. I'm not making excuses for a loss. I think the Eagles should. I should say it this way. I think the Eagles should win on Sunday. Will they? I don't know. Because again, we are facing a very tough team. And it was something I was saving for tomorrow. And we'll dive into it a little bit more tomorrow. But something that Big Al on Edge of Philly brought up last night on the show I was on with him. That Eagles defense. Just think about this. That Eagles defense was on the field for over 90 snaps on Sunday against Buffalo. And they got to come right back and do it against another good team in San Francisco this week. And they're going to be shorthanded. That's a lot to ask out of your defense to stop Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. You got Trent Williams on their offensive line, who's somehow in their top 5 of MVP rankings. And your defense is already tired going into the game. This is why Brian Johnson's play calling and Brian Johnson's game plan this week is so important. We've joked that some of the cliche keys to victory, time of possession, turnover battle. The Eagles are winning games despite losing those statistics. This week, the number one key has to be control the time of possession. Keep your defense off the field because your defense is already gassed before the game starts. Just saying. That's just some of my realistic thought process on a Thursday morning, a few days before the game. He's pretty defensive about bad at balls too. Look, he doesn't want to bat. He doesn't want that happening. He doesn't. Nobody wants bad at balls at the line of scrimmage. With the bad at balls, Kalen, I came in late. Look. Bad at balls. It's the thing. I mean, Jalen Hurts is not a 6'6" quarterback. He's not like Josh Allen. He's going to have bad at balls, but he's got to be better. He was just talking about Jalen's bad at ball issue, and I'm making you're making childish jokes. It's okay. I'm used to the jokes from K1 now. Sometimes I just ignore them, because I don't know. K1 doesn't have a real face picture there, so he could be a 12-year-old kid making 12-year-old jokes, or he's a grown man making 12-year-old jokes. I don't know. Ryan saying Driscoll is much better run blocker, not as good at pass protection. I mean, before I even read the rest of your comment, Ryan, the whole entire offensive line is much better at run blocking than pass protection. I think we overrate our pass protection ability We saw versus the Jets, who had lots of injuries in the secondary. Eagles' plan was to pass, and the same plan was versus Buffalo. I say this, but even with the Jets and Bills' secondary issues, Eagles are always about the pass. Yeah, I mean, 90% of NFL teams are all about the pass. It's a passing league. Passing sells. I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's what they want. That's why they protect the quarterbacks and the wide receivers the most and pay their running backs the least. So it is what it is, but we're going to have to control the clock this week. The play calling is going to have to be better this week if we're going to stand any form of a chance. When we beat the Niners, I hope Nick tells his team that when they see them again in the playoffs, that they will roll over this team. Mental advantage is huge against the Niners. Yeah, we also got to think about that aspect of this week and next week with Dallas. Like, it's almost like, do you even want to win? Like, you're going to face them again. It's almost like you don't show anything in a preseason game, because you want to run a vanilla offense because you're going to you don't want to give a game plan to these teams. You almost want them to hold back. Like, you want them to win. Obviously, I'm not saying I want them to lose, but you almost want them to hold back a little bit. Don't show too many tricks because there's a damn good chance you're going to be facing the Niners in the playoffs. There's a good chance we're facing the Niners in the championship game to get to the Super Bowl game. There's a chance that the championship game and the Super Bowl are going to be exact same for the Eagles this year. 49ers and Chiefs. There is. I don't know. But, it definitely, you don't want to give the Niners any confidence, but also you don't want to give them any bonus looks or anything. So I don't know. It's interesting. Just something random there. NBC has had a Shaq Leonard camera following him around. Look, the Shaq Leonard stuff is exciting. He's an exciting player, just like Kevin Byard, former exciting. But there's a reason why he's a free agent. Look, I did bring up all. The only thing is, if the Eagles need a linebacker, Shaq Leonard is the only guy left that's available that you would bring in. I mean, every free agent linebacker. I don't know how Spot Track sorts these guys, so I might miss some. But these are the names outside of Shaq Leonard that are available. Some of these names I don't even know who they are. Deion Jones, Robert Quinn, Christian Kirksey, who? Melvin Ingram, Damian Wilson, who? Kevin Pierre-Louis, never heard of him. Malik Reed, Anthony Barr is still listed as available. Rashawn Evans is still available. Carl Nassib, John Bostic, like he's still in football. I didn't even know that. Jordan Jenkins, who? Like what? How do you even say this name? Nick Kwiatkowski. I mean, there's a name. That sounds a Polish name. If I heard. Like, if you want a linebacker, Shaq Leonard's it. But like I said early in the show, like, why isn't Shaq Leonard like you would think, like, what's there to decide? You got two teams that want you. Both are playoff teams. One's a Super Bowl team. You pick a team or not. Like, him saying he needs the weekend to think about it just sounds like he just wants to chill for a weekend and play one less game. And he's still going to get picked up by somebody. But big picture, I don't trust a guy that good, supposedly, that's been cut, that then can't make up his mind. So even if we sign him, it'll help. But I'm not going to be jumping up and down doing cartwheels like other people are that we got Shaq Leonard. The Eagles' plan is to always pass regardless, even going into the Vikings game. That was the plan. But they turned to the run for once. I think they saved that run because you noticed it on Sunday against Buffalo, Ryan. They weren't running the ball. And then they ran the ball with Swift. Swift had that one big run in the third quarter. And that big run sparked the whole offense, not just the running attack, the passing attack as well. So you save that run when you need the spark. You save that Swift big play for when you need the spark, because when he gives that spark, it does help. It does resonate to the rest of the team. You did EOP. I did. I was on Big Al's show last night. Just go to Edge of Philadelphia Sports YouTube page. You can find it. I was on the show with Sean Brace and Big Al last night. Phil with the premature cope. I'm not coping. I don't want people to think that. We need to win the bat ball battle. Absolutely. All right. So real quick here, guys. You guys are watching Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We've been borderline between 28 and 35 people watching on all platforms today. There's only 19 likes on YouTube, only 2 on Facebook. Make sure you hit that like button, that share button, that follow button, that subscribe button. Turn the notifications on. Please help me out. All those things help grow this show, help get more people in the conversation. More people in the conversation, the better. More ideas, more thoughts, more opinions. That's what I want. A place to give you guys a place for your opinions. So make sure you do that. I am Phil Stiefel. You can follow me everywhere at Bearded Knowledge. If I'm on the platform, that is how you find me. And right back to the comments, guys. Right here on Trending the AM. Final 30 minutes today. Let's see what else comes up here in the conversation. The offense needs to have long drives to rest that defense. Adam, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't have that defense out there for long drives again this week. You can't. The offense is going. I hate using cliches as keys to victory, but time of possession. If any week, this week is going to be the most important time of possession battle that the Eagles have faced all year. Not because I'm scared of the 49ers defense, but because I'm scared that I'm not scared of the 49ers offense. I'm scared that our defense is gassed going into the game. Dak Prescott ranks as the number one quarterback in the NFC. Oh my God, seriously? Oh, like seriously? Why? 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 I don't get it. I know Mahomes' contract is so massive the Chiefs can't afford any weapons in their salary cap. I expect the same thing to happen to Hurts in a few years when his contract takes up more. I don't worry about it with the Eagles because his contract is structured that when it's supposed to hit big anyway, it'll be time to restructure it, and he'll just keep kicking it down. Now, 15 years from now, we might have a year where we have a huge dead cap hit number because of it. But hell, we had a huge Carson Wentz dead cap number, and we still made the playoffs in 2020. I forget what Carson Wentz's dead cap hit was in 2021 when he was not on the team, but it literally took up like 40% of the cap, and we still figured out a way because that's what Howie does. Um, I mean, it was a record at the time. I don't know if it still is, but I'm not worried about the Eagles finding ways to spend money. Plus, when the other money they spend, like the 49ers, they've spent on McCaffrey, they've spent on George Kittle and their wide receivers and cornerbacks and whatnot. The Eagles spend on their offensive line and defensive line, which is the core to a successful team outside of a quarterback. Howie Roseman's our secret weapon. I absolutely agree. He knows how to manipulate contracts and everything so well. 5 people haven't hit the like button. There's far too many that don't hit the like button on a regular basis. I say. I thought K1 is Kenny Gainwell. Maybe we still haven't figured that out. It was Barcini all. It was Barcini all along. Eagles defense can't pass cover. They can't cover to break up passes. Look, Ryan, I know people are down on our secondary. I brought the stats into the equation yesterday. Darius Slay, yesterday or last week, was targeted 5 times. He gave up 1 completion for 22 yards. James Bradbury was targeted 15 times on Sunday. He only gave up 6 completions for 60 yards. He had a touchdown and an interception he gave up. He gave up in a touchdown. He had an interception. So Slay and Bradbury, to use the pun, are trending in the right direction. It was Barcini all along. Yeah, exactly. I love the Godfather. I still say the Godfather 2 is better than Godfather 1, and I will stand on that hill to the day I die. But Godfather movies are great. Eagles better make freaking stops on 3rd down. That's how you get off the field. That's how you don't let your defense play 92 snaps last week. Barr went back to Minnesota. Okay, so Spot Track might just not have updated that. So some of the names I mentioned, maybe they haven't updated it. They have Shaq Leonard listed as a free agent, so I thought it was updated. I thought Barr, he might have. Maybe he's on a practice squad. I don't know. Shaq has leverage at this point in the season. He is ultimately looking for the best deal available. It makes me question his motivation. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. The reset. I'm behind on comments if you guys are talking about resets right now. I did it on time. No, versus Buffalo, they didn't stick to the run though. Vikings, they stick to the run. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You want to run the ball more. I want them to run the ball more too. But I understand what they're doing and what their philosophies are. Is all I'm saying. That I'm just trying to give you what they're thinking. Gammon, yeah, tomorrow's show. Yeah, this is the guy. This is my man Gammon, my new friend here, and he's gonna come on for 10 minutes tomorrow to talk a little 49ers, give us a little insight. Hey, thank you, my gamer's chair. Gammer with the gamer's chair donation. I don't even know anything about gamer chairs, but I need something with better back support, better leg support, better everything support here. Maybe that fits on the desk too. Maybe I need a bigger desk. So get this little tiny thing for my legs underneath the desk. It's not enough room. Donate to the Phil Gamers Chair Fund. That's right. Absolutely. Dak, best deep ball. I don't think so. I saw the Niners saying they will stop the tush push. Good luck. Good luck. Um, Good luck trying. Awesome. Yes, that's right. Phil, you can't separate GF1 and GF2. They need to be watched back to back. Duck, have you ever? I've only done it once, and I didn't do it straight through because it's really long. Someone at some point took all the Godfather movies and put them in chronological time order. So the flashbacks start the movie and it goes on. And it's actually really interesting to watch the movie separated out like that. For sure. They both complement each other. I don't think there's a movie and a sequel that complements each other as well as Godfather 1 and 2 does. Um, these FBI guys, they gave me yeah, is that what it is? I thought I was better than 2, but I absolutely respect your opinion. They're both phenomenal movies. Oh, 1 was better too. Yeah, I mean, Freddie, I'm just a huge fan of the Robert De Niro performance in 2. I love the flashbacks to Italy as a kid, or when he goes back to Italy to get vengeance on his mother being killed. Like those scenes and those flashbacks and the going back to Italy, they just hit me, man. I love it. And the scenes when Robert De Niro's young dad in the streets, as an Italian family, like I think of my family, my Italian heritage coming over. I just imagine that Italian village in the city. I do. I connect to that so much. Tom, can you get me off the hook for old time's sake? Love it. Yeah, I wish. That would cover a new chair. The Godfather saga is available on DVD. It has both movies in chronological order and extended scenes. Well worth getting. Yeah. Do people still have DVD players? I don't know. I don't have a DVD player anymore. My last DVD player might be buried somewhere here, but I don't got a DVD player anymore. Don't we all wish we had a bigger desk? Yes, I don't need a bigger desk. This desk is massive. But like the part where you slide your legs underneath it, it's pretty small. I can't even get the chair underneath it. I can't. Um, I saw that version of The Godfather also. I think it's a really interesting way to watch it. It really is. It's the smart move. Tessio was always smarter. I love when we get into Godfather quotes into this thing. I just quoted a huge moment in Godfather, and it went right over Phil's head. Where did you do that? They gave me a deal. Yeah, I think over my head. I get what you're saying. I got Godfather 2 for $1. I need part 1. Okay. I still put Goodfellas above both Godfathers just because I love the Goodfellas movie. Um, I have a PS3 and 4. They play DVDs. See, you got that. I haven't owned a video game system in 20 years. So yeah, I don't have that. Um, but yeah, I think there's a DVD player somewhere in this house, but I doubt it works. It's been a long time since I even remotely considered plugging in. I don't even think I own any DVDs anymore. Um, yes, I don't even think I ever bought a Blu-ray. Um, now listen, my crack. uh, yeah, we're stuck on Godfather quotes here. We're stuck on the Godfather big time. Hey, since I did my reset, we haven't gotten one more single like on YouTube or Facebook, guys. You gotta hit that like. I have VCR and DVD combo. Oh my god, Adam, do you still have your TV box TV with the VCR built into the TV? Because that would make me laugh a lot if you still had one of those. Do people still have VCRs? Do people still have VHS tapes? I have a VHS tape. I gotta convert it to like a digital file at some point. Some funny clips of me on cruise ships on it. I have computer hooked to my TV show. No issues there. I don't even think my laptop has a. My new laptop doesn't even have a slot for DVDs. My old one does not either. Like my last 2 laptops here don't even have slots for DVDs anymore. This laptop over here, my side one, it's like a 8, 10-year-old laptop, and it doesn't. This one is only a year old. It can't even do it there. Um, an Italian guy with a pizza shop. Nothing stereotypical about that, Phil. Right? Yeah. Okay. I will be at the counter of my bodega selling single Newports for 50 cents. Look, so I'm a little cliche. I'm an Italian guy that's been to Italy that owns a pizza shop. Yeah, I'm a cliche. I'm an Italian cliche. What can I say? I talk with my hands. I make pasta. I'm a cliche. I'm a walking cliche. No doubt about it. Right over his head. Stop. Stop. Hit that like button. I know, guys. Come on. Oh, and just like that, now all of a sudden we just jumped up 4 more likes. I appreciate that. Likes are important. People don't understand, what likes and views mean. It helps. It really, really does. Um, Phil, get a PS5. Why would I get a PS5? I don't play video games. I don't care about video games. I'm not spending $4 billion on a PS5. And then the PS6 will come out and I'll need that. I don't get why people spend so much money on it. Betamax is best quality. I don't even know what that is. All right, final 20 minutes here. I want to bring something else, non-Eagles related, into the conversation. I got some other things here that I haven't really talked about, but I want to bring in one more conversation. We talk quarterbacks all the time. We talk Jalen Hurts all the time. See, talk about the Godfather and watch the likes skyrocket. That's right. Yeah. I mean, we started talking about the Godfather and we went from 19 to 23 like that. You know what I mean? I love it. I want a deep fake swap and fill for Al Pacino in The Godfather 2 and rewatch it. Yeah, um, forget about it. Look, so I want to bring up another quarterback into this situation. And I didn't realize, like, I'm not a fan of his, okay? I don't like the way he conducts his business. But Aaron Rodgers, his practice window from an Achilles tear that happened 11, 12 weeks ago. He had surgery 11 weeks ago. 12 weeks ago, he hurt his ankle or his Achilles. 11 weeks from surgery, less than 100 days out, and the dude's back to practicing. And I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm not. I can't stand the person Aaron Rodgers. I can't stand his appearances on the Pat McAfee show. I can't stand his dark retreats or whatever he went on. Basically, just go camping and smoke a lot of marijuana. Basically is what he did. Take some edibles. Like, I can't stand him. But I said I put out a tweet yesterday. Props to Aaron Rodgers for doing the work to come back miraculously, potentially, for a bad Jets team. And I cannot believe how many people came at me saying that the injury wasn't as bad. It was a faked injury. The surgery, it proves he wasn't hurt. He was faking it all along. Look, I know Aaron Rodgers isn't liked a lot. I mean, I'm one of them. But the simple fact that how many people bashed him after I shared out the post that, he's going to make this miraculous comeback kind of was shocking. Like, can't we give the guy his due for, maybe putting in an insane amount of work? I mean, it's shocking. Like, no one comes back. I want whatever Rodgers smoking. I tweak my back and I'm out for 3 weeks. Exactly. Like, whatever he's doing. I know he got some stem cell. He had some experimental procedures done. He followed the Kobe route and went to Europe to do things that aren't proved here. I know what he's doing. It could backfire and he could re-hurt himself pretty quickly. Who knows? But whatever the guy's doing, like, we praised Bryce Harper massively for being the quickest person to ever come back from Tommy John surgery. And that's fine. Bryce Harper's respected in the city a lot more than Aaron Rodgers is. But isn't there some, like, flowers that need to be given for Aaron Rodgers? The fact that he's done whatever's possible to get back on the field this year? I mean, first and foremost, why rush when the Jets stink? I don't even know where the Jets stand in the playoff rankings at this point. I got to look real quick. Standings, conference, AFC conference. I mean, the Jets are down at 15th in the conference right now. They're the second to last team in their conference. I know they're tied with a couple other teams, but the chances of the Jets winning or making the playoffs is next to zero. And he's working to come back. Shocking. You always win Friends with Godfather. Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. Can we Mamma Mia? Yeah. LA Late Nights Out. I've never seen Mamma Mia, so no, I cannot. But yeah, marijuana is bad. Supposedly it is. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that. Wait, Rodgers. What Rodgers do? He's coming back from an injury. It's crazy. Rodgers is a game player. He plays a lot of games. Absolutely. Aaron is now 65% cyborg. He very well might be. I mean, how else is he coming back in 11 weeks from an Achilles tear? Ryan Howard's career basically ended in 2011 when he tore his Achilles. I mean, it used to be a 9-month recovery, 12-month recovery for an Achilles. And now he has 11 weeks. He's out back there. Anyone that actually wants to play for the Jets gets respect. I know, and that's like it's a miraculous comeback, but it's a miraculous comeback at the end of his legendary career. Like him or not, he's one of the best of all time. Sure, top 10, 12 quarterback of all time. He doesn't need to do anything for his legacy. People either love him or hate him. But he's trying to come back for the 4-7 Jets that have probably like a next to no chance to make the playoffs. I mean, I gotta tip my cap to him. I mean, it's not gonna make me like him, but I'll tip my cap to him because it's mad props to him for doing it. Rodgers is back. He's not back yet, but they activated his injured reserve practice window, so he's got 21 days to get back, or then he's got to be canceled for the rest of the year. So he can practice for the next 3 weeks, not count against the roster. and then they have to make a decision. But he was out there practicing yesterday, running, dropping back, throwing passes. Insane. Tessio really tried to get Tom Hagen to get him off the hook for old time's sake. Yeah, for old time's sake. It's funny. He is very polarized. Aaron Rodgers is. You think Jalen Hurts is polarizing right now? Just imagine being Aaron Rodgers in a 21 practice window. Yeah, exactly. Over your nice Ivy League suit. I would rather talk to Godfather than Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Well, I'm just trying to talk. Look, Jalen Hurts is a polarizing person, but Aaron Rodgers is way more polarizing than Jalen Hurts. You think too much of me, kid. I'm not that clever. I love that line too. It's a great line from the movie. Use weed in extremely moderation as to not lose your memory. We're getting weed knowledge in the comments now. Rodgers don't get along with he don't get along with nobody, except for Pat McAfee. Solazzo was greedy. He was over his head. That's why Mike took him out early. Man, you guys really do rather talk about The Godfather and quoting The Godfather than talking about Aaron Rodgers making a miraculous recovery from an Achilles tear. That's my that's my cue to like wrap up early or something like that. How is Hurts a polarizing quarterback? He's just quiet and does his work. Well, that's what's polarizing about him. He's not the flashy guy. Like people think like I said, Tuck, I don't know if you heard it. I brought up the quotes from Ian Rappaport earlier in the show. And people are blowing Ian Rappaport's things out of proportion or taking it out of context. And let me make sure I get Ian Rappaport's comment right again. All right. Where is it here? He's not normal. Where was the exact quote again? It was joining me. Eagles had just Jalen Hurts is sitting there, and I swear to God, he looked miserable. And I was so impressed by that. Like, his attitude is polarizing. The fact that he had a dramatic victory and wasn't partying, dancing. He wasn't Xfinity Live, dropping money. He wasn't, he's just such a quiet, simple guy. And people aren't used to that out of the quarterbacks. Like everybody talks about Jalen. Like he's got a girlfriend. Nobody knows. Like we know, but we don't. He's not out there partying. He does one thing. He gets up, he goes to work every day. He puts in the work. When he goes home, he works more. He's got his charities. I'm sure he finds ways to have fun, but he keeps himself so professional and so even keeled. His demeanor, the way it is polarizing because that's people aren't used to that. How many quarterbacks or athletes, period? We always compare Joel Embiid, Jalen Hurts, and Bryce Harper, who's really the face of Philly sports right now. But there's three totally different personalities there. Bryce Harper's the rah-rah in-your-face guy. Joel Embiid's the troll. He literally promotes himself as a troll. You never know what he's going to say next. And Jalen Hurts is just what's up? Yeah, we're going to be better. Right, I got to be better. Yep, uh-huh. Cool, talk to you later. Like, he's just so quiet and shy. Like, that's what makes him polarizing because people want the personality. They want the flash. They want the pomp and circumstance. They don't want what Jalen Hurts is. Hey, I'm not commenting. I'm not judging anybody. I'm not judging myself. Tom Hagen would have never helped him. He hated him in the old time too. Yeah. Tom's an underrated character in The Godfather. I like Tom. He's got a tough spot. Did you see the deleted scene where Mike pays back Fabrizio for killing Apollina? I have not. Interesting. I got to go back and catch that. Now for this new Kelly Green strain. Ask Phil for details. Look, we'll get into the Kelly Green when my knockoff team. I'll open the jersey right here live on the show. Sonny was hot for the Turks. Yeah. And Tom knew it was the right thing to do. Yeah, there is a Godfather saga. Yeah, okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yep, blew up his car outside of a pizza shop. Interesting. Why has it always got to be a pizza shop? Why the pizza shop's always got to be involved with the crime? I mean, can't they do their crime somewhere else? Like my pizza shop doesn't need the distraction of a bomb going off in front of it. Come on. Because Hurts isn't satisfied with this win because he knows he could do better. He keeps himself to himself. He's a coach's son, and you could tell absolutely. But that's why he's polarizing. because people are like looking at him and like, say something, do something. I know, and they want to see him do something. They want to see him, show some flaws in his character, and he's just not going to do it. But he is polarizing. It's just a different form of polarization. That's all. The fact that he shared his feelings even a little during the post-game presser was amazing. Yeah, I mean, he's so level-headed, so even-keeled. He is so not what we're used to, but we do resonate with his work ethic and his attitude because that's what Philadelphia is, a blue-collar, hardworking town. Did you see the clip of BG talking? Yeah, absolutely, I saw it. Um, Telling him how Jalen is going to look. I saw BG talking during the game and BG talking after the game about Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's not like normally. I don't want to say there's a divide, but normally there's some divide between the offense and defense. Like the offensive players hang together and prop each other up, and the defensive players hang together and prop each other up. Even like I was talking last night, I was saying how like even Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson, Hall of Famers, respect and listen to what Jalen Hurts has to say. Normally, you got your offensive leader and your defensive leader. Jalen Hurts is the leader of the whole team, and everyone on that defense respects and looks up to Jalen Hurts as well. And I think that's like the fact that Brandon Graham is so giddy over Jalen Hurts. I mean, there's a reason why Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox took less money to come here or to come back here and stay here one more year. He was smiling at the Sixers game, and it was big news. I mean, yeah, it's hard to get him to even crack a smile. Tom was an Irish guy in an Italian mob. Only the Don and his family trusted him. The others wanted to be him. Yeah, he had a lot of power. That scene when he gets taken and we know you're not the muscle. We're not going to hurt you. Whatever. He had to be crapping his pants if that was a real situation, for sure. But Tom wasn't a wartime conciliary. That's right. He wasn't. If I had, yeah, exactly. What was with Kelsey's response after the field goal? He was shaking his head and looked upset because his two false starts pushed that field goal back. But he also had to poop really bad. So not to stoop low with a poop joke, but he did have to poop for real, really bad. So maybe he was shaking his head on that. Maybe he was worried he had a stain back there or something. K1 is right. K1's always right, right? Yippers. All right, we're coming. We're caught up on comments. I think this is the first time all show long today we're officially caught up on comments for a moment. So I'm going to say it. We're at what 23 likes, 3 likes on Facebook. Hit that like button, guys, please. I greatly appreciate it. Likes equal views. We're coming down to the end, the final 5 minutes of the show today. Might even wrap it up a minute early. I don't know because I've done so many shows. I got another show tonight. I feel so awful. I don't even remember what the show is I'm doing tonight. Let me actually look it up so I can tell you who I'm going on the show of tonight. Um, nope, that's somebody else. Where's the guy? I don't even remember where the guy is that sent me the link. Shoot. Man, I'm terrible with this stuff. There it is. My man Jonathan Brown. PM Drive host, PhillyGoFlow.com at PhillyGoFlow. I'm going to be on their channel tonight talking Eagles and Sixers. If you want to check that out. Of course, if you follow me on Twitter, I will share it out. If you're friends with me on Facebook, I will share it out. But that's the name of the channel, Philly Go Flow. That's where I'll be tonight, like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I don't know if it shows live or pre-recorded, but I'll share it out as well for you guys to hear me. Um, but yeah, lots happening. Lots going on. Tomorrow, we'll have my man Gammon on the show for 10, 15 minutes. Give us a little insight into the 49ers. We'll break down the keys. I'll make a prediction. I'll decide whether I'm going to have the Eagles win or not. I don't want to upset Marshawn and make him think that I'm punting on this game or Mister, whoever's calling me out. Um, Phil was a made man. The core 12 would be his capos. Me, TMC, and K1. Who would be? I don't know. I think Kyle would be my consigliere because he's the statistician. So he's the most realistic guy, So Kyle would be my consigliere. Eric, K1, Mad Shatter, Adam, Peanut. I think Peanut would take a bullet for me. I think he would. I do. Will Smith would be the famous guy, the part of the group. Good show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Will Smith. I do. Is he a friend of yours or a friend of ours? I don't even know who he is. The guy I'm going on the show tonight. He's just a guy that follows us. He doesn't comment on the shows that I know of, unless he's got a different account that he comments under. But I get a lot of requests to appear on shows. Sometimes I can fit them into my schedule. Sometimes I can't. When I can, I try to appear on as many other shows as possible. when I get um, when I get, the requests because I know from back in the day, how hard it is to get guests when my show was something else and not what it is now. Um, Guests were important because I didn't have all these comments coming in, and it was very hard to get people to come on the show. So when people ask me to go on their shows, if it fits in my schedule or if they're flexible with their times, I make it work because I know how important it is to be on other people's shows. Another great show. The grind never stops, Adam. That's what it is. You're my button man, are you? You're part of the crew. You're part of the crew. You're a capo de where does The Sopranos rank versus The Godfather? I know one's a series, one's a movie, but we learned so much more about family in The Sopranos than The Godfather. I don't know. The button man and the family aspect of it just made me think of The Sopranos and all the capos in The Sopranos. I don't know, man. I think I might rather watch Sopranos than The Godfather. I don't know. I have to think about that one a little bit. But anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap up trend in the AM right there. I'm Phil Stiefel, your host. Again, likes. We got up to 24 likes. We've been doing great with the likes on replays and stuff like that. We gotta represent the Core 12, man. We gotta work on something, man. Yesterday's show, a good show. We've had good shows this week. 200 views, 175 views. Yesterday's about 150. Freaking Liam, man, with like 500 views on his show yesterday. Guys, why isn't Trending in the AM getting 500 views a show? What are we doing wrong here? Is it because I talked about Aaron Rodgers for 5 minutes? Is that why we're not getting 500 views? Is it because I don't make dirty BJ jokes? Um, that I don't get 500 views? Like seriously, guys, how is Liam out viewing us, man? His 3 shows a week do as much as our 5 shows, maybe more sometimes. Guys, Core 12, capos, get on the street, beat the heads. In that one scene in The Sopranos where they're short money, they're having a downward turn. I don't want to hear about the economy. Go out there, bang some heads, knock some heads around. You guys are supposed to be my biggest earners. Core 12 are supposed to be my biggest supporters. Let's knock some heads. Let's make sure we're out viewing Liam. We got 5 shows versus 3. We should be out drawing him easy. That's right. Go Birds. It's the accent. The accent. I could talk with an accent. No, I can't. I can talk with an accent. Oh, that's not the right one. I don't know. No. We just like busting Liam's. We all do. I know. But we can still do better. Come on, guys. Yeah, my Italian accent. I don't have an Italian accent. I talk with my hands like an Italian, but that's all I do. Anyway, we gotta wrap this show up here, guys. Train the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. Sorry to bring back a light envelope, boss. Yeah, K1. It was a light envelope. There's no excuses. All right. I'm gonna charge you points on that light envelope, okay? Just to make sure you understand not to do it again. Philly, hold off on the accent. Yeah, I'm not doing no accents now. Not gonna happen. Anyway, guys, trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. Back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Phillies, Philadelphia Eagles, 49ers of San Francisco. Final previews and predictions tomorrow on the show. And one 49ers content creator, fan of the show here, 49ers fan, will be joining us for 10, 15 minutes. Guys, go Birds. Have a good day. It'll warm up to like 45 today. Go Birds, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.